I think we're going to ignore this screen and we're going to get going on the rest, so I do apologise for the technical hitch. Let's take a look at what he got up to on his trip to Vegas.
Hey, Jeremy, thanks for the camera phone, thanks for the credit card. I'm going to do my best to spend your money wisely and show off what your phone can do for your conference in Vegas.
Mid-air, 2-0. Just lost picture one more time.
1, 2, 3, go! And they're off, ladies and gentlemen. What you're witnessing here is broadband history in the making. Let me explain. We have these hold on, get my mark.
Wow, this screen is going wacko-macko up here.
Now, that was Gizmodo going to CES show back in January and Make Magazine had given him a big handful of TV begons. So, infrared, something we all know, and this was, the year of the television. So there's like plasmas and LCDs everywhere, and these, all of these guys are wanting to show off how wonderful their product is, but if it keeps turning off and randomly failing, it makes you wonder how many sales they may have lost because of something like that. And you have to, I don't encourage anybody to try this because, look at that Motorola guy. He was standing there trying to do his job, sell his product, and some guy in the front row is screwing around with him. It's like, that's just not cool, I'm sorry. I mean, the big wall of TVs, okay, that's one thing, but if you're actually causing somebody grief and, possible lost sales and stuff like that, that's just not kosher with me, I'm sorry. Now, if you're also at a trade show, typically these guys will have laptops with them for demos, etc. This is a situation I found myself in at ShmooCon a few years ago. An unknown vendor had a laptop showing off their product, a very expensive product. I was standing in line waiting for registration to start, and I get bored easily, and I'm standing there waiting for registration to open, like looking at their product. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And they got all these little USB hubs that they're giving away. They light up, and they've got them all daisy chained together, and they need to provide power to show that they light up. So I had them plug into the demo laptop. So I fish around in my pocket, and I find that I have my USB Switchblade with me. Basically what this does is upon insertion in an XP system or earlier, it auto-executes and dumps all of the passwords to the drive out of memory. It basically runs like a CD auto-run. So I had a couple of friends distract the sales guy. They've got all these hubs there. Click. Click. And I had an entire dump of all the passwords they had on the system on here. I'm not content to just go neener, neener, neener. Look what I got. I go for show. If you're going to make a point, you got to make it big. So borrowed a projector, took the log, scrubbed the passwords, so it was just only the first couple of characters. I'm not a complete jerk. Borrowed a projector, set up my laptop. The booth next to them was this guy down here, actually. We spun around one of their signs and used it as a screen and proceeded to project the passwords on the screen right beside the booth of the unnamed company. And then I stood up on a chair and basically made the pronouncement that, ladies and gentlemen, remember that you are at a security conference and you have to secure your ports. Not just your network ports, but your USB ports. And proceeded to explain what I had done. The best part was that the woman who was manning the booth at the time, her cohort had actually gone off to lunch and had been warning her, don't connect to the network. There's a bunch of evil hackers around here. You don't know what they'll do, you're thinking. And it was his laptop I got. So, lesson learned, he basically had to report back that there was an incident, but it was a marketing laptop, so they were doing it right. It was a marketing laptop. Before it got connected back to the corporate network, it got scrubbed. So the only thing that was on there was like his personal passwords for like MSN and stuff like that. But you have to think that a lot of these passwords were identical for various uses. One of these could theoretically also cover corporate assets too. So even though it never actually touched the corporate network, there's some conjecture you could make out of that. The major repercussion of this was that the guy had to admit publicly that he had done this and gotten owned. He also had to wear a big foam cowboy hat for an entire day as punishment, too. So what have we done to Bob? We pwned his laptop, pwned his data, his cell phone. We pwned his wife, his keys, his demos, his ability to work. And this is all without touching the guy, just sitting across from him in a room. So, suggestions of your own, I'd love to hear them. I've got just a couple of minutes left. Anybody got anything right off the top of your head? Yep. Oh, we got a microphone here. And also, I'd like to know what you might be doing to help your users, deal with this in terms of education or locking their devices down. I'm very curious.
Well, I'm not a security pro. I just tell everybody I know and work with to take anything that transmits off. But are you familiar with the PRC 343 personal row radio?
No.
Okay, it's a piece of military equipment. It's a
That's why.
inter-squad radio used by troops in the squad. It runs on the 2.4 gigahertz frequency. There are two families. One runs at 50 milliwatts, one runs at 100 milliwatts. It also uses Bluetooth for the push-to-talk sequence.
Oh, boy.
You can get deactivated units on eBay and then reassemble them and make them work.
That could be interesting.
That's all I have to say.
Okay. Thank you. Rick?
If you don't mind finding that how to secure your Wi-Fi slide again real quick. While you're finding the Wi-Fi slide, you mentioned Motorola headsets. I actually love Motorola cell phones. How many people like their Motorola phone? I think it's great because as a frequent flyer, I find that when we land, Motorola automatically enables discoverability for the first 60 seconds.
When you turn it on.
As soon as you turn on the phone, it's discoverable. So the first thing I do when I turn my phone on, I look for all of you.
I do too.
The stopping Wi-Fi threats. There you go.
There you go.
I love Tor. I thanked one of their developers earlier today in his talk, but that doesn't stop you putting your pretty face on all of the emails because that stuff's incoming. You can still attack the laptop. You just can't man in the middle of the data.
Yeah.
And
It's better than nothing.
it is better than
That's
nothing.
free.
You also mentioned the firewall several times. There's a really great misnomer about firewalls. Everybody thinks, oh, I have a firewall, I'm safe. When you connect to the corporate network, you can still use file and print sharing. Your files are still accessible because it's on the local area network. Unless your firewall is configured to block people on the local area network, you're out there. You have no firewall. So just those of you that think your local area network is safe, I hope your Wi-Fi is turned off.
All right. I just want to say a few things before I get punted here. Huge thanks to Rob T. Firefly, wherever he is. He did the artwork for Bob. I have no artistic skills, so thank you very much. And also, I am trying to finance this trip, so I have sets of WPA cracking tables with me, the 33 gig sets, 9 DVDs, $50. I have them with me. I'm trying to basically pay for my way home, so I'll have them with me all weekend. If you can help me out. Did you have a suggestion there?
I was just wondering if there have been any real-world cases of people attacking smartphones, 3G, edge network, that type of thing?
No, not that I'm aware, like through the Bluetooth and that, but usually not through like the 3G connection or anything like that. BlackBerries though, if somebody could find a way to take the network down on command, you know those simpering piles of goo that people become when they can't get their BlackBerry emails? To be able to create that on command, I think would be a truly evil thing. Yes? 1 minute.
All right. The Google thing that was mentioned earlier,
Yep.
I believe it was actually the complete opposite of a secure system. It was actually Google's attempt at an internet accelerator like NetZero does, where it caches your internet connections for you. But this led to a lot of websites, people being logged into each other's sessions.
Okay.
What I've seen looking around here is a lot of people on their Gmail accounts.
Yes, hijacking.
A lot of people who could get their session cookies grabbed.
Yeah. Like I said, this is by no means a complete and exhaustive list. So I'm going to be out here, and I'm going to probably head down to the mezzanine level if anybody wants to talk further, but I got to get out of the way here. So have a good night. Thank you.